Welcome to Kurucuk Associates Law Firm in Istanbul, Turkey. In this video, I will explain about the most preferred investment types in acquiring Turkish citizenship through investment. Real estate investment. If the main applicant intends to invest in real estate, the investment amount must exceed $400,000 or the equivalent in Turkish lira or foreign currency, as per the regulations issued as follows. Purchase a real estate with a minimum value of $400,000 or equivalent foreign currency or equivalent amount of Turkish liras and attached an annotation of no sale for at least 3 years at the relevant title registry, or a real estate which has a property ownership or a construction servitude on it, with a preliminary sale contract executed before a notary public and at least $400,000 or amount of foreign currency or Turkish liras is paid in advance, and such notarized preliminary sale contract shall be recorded at the relevant title registry with the undertaking not to transfer or assign the agreement for a period of 3 years that is determined by the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization. The main applicant is required to fulfill certain conditions in order to make an investment in real estate. Firstly, the investment amount should be over $400,000 or equivalent in Turkish lira or foreign currency. Secondly, an annotation of no sale must be attached to the property for a minimum of 3 years, during which time the property cannot be sold or transferred in any way. This condition applies to any type of property, such as residential, land, or workplace, and the main applicant is allowed to purchase multiple properties. For instance, the main applicant can buy 3 apartments from different locations, provided that the sales costs, valuation reports for all 3 apartments add up to over $400,000. Lawyers authorized by the main applicant can handle all real estate transfer transactions through a special power of attorney. Similarly, lawyers can also carry out bank account opening procedures on behalf of the main applicant. As of January 24, 2022, a new regulation on the implementation of the Turkish Citizenship Law has been introduced by the central bank. Foreigners who are buyers must exchange their foreign currency through a bank authorized by the central bank. The technical details of this process are outlined in the Capital Movement Circular and the 13th article of the Capital Movement Circular and the implementation instructions on the sales of foreign exchange to the central bank. Foreigners must first sell their foreign currency to the central bank through the bank, and then present the foreign exchange purchase certificate to the Land Registry Office for real estate acquisitions. It is now mandatory for foreign real persons to have the foreign exchange purchase certificate when buying real estate. Therefore, since January 24, 2022, the main applicant must convert their money to Turkish lira and send it to the seller in Turkish lira. Alternatively, the buyer can send the foreign currency, which will then be converted by the seller, who will obtain the foreign exchange purchase certificate on behalf of the buyer. Restrictions to foreigners in real estate acquisition. Foreign citizens who wish to acquire real estate in Turkey are subject to certain restrictions set forth in the relevant legislation. The limitations include: the amount of land area that can be acquired by foreign citizens is limited. According to the regulation, the acquisition of 30 hectares, and no more than 60 hectares with the decision of the Council of Ministers, of real estate is allowed. Military prohibition and security zones are also closely monitored. The relevant authorities check whether the area where a foreign citizen requests to acquire real estate is within military or security zones or not. Foreign country nationals to acquire real estate within Turkey. All citizens from 183 countries approved by the Presidency are allowed to acquire real estate in Turkey, and a complete list of countries that can acquire real estate is not published. However, inquiries can be made from the relevant land registry directorates upon the intention to acquire property. It should be noted that Syrian citizens are prohibited from acquiring real estate in Turkey. Selection of real estate. One of the crucial steps in the process is selecting the appropriate real estate. The rental income of the real estate is the most significant factor to consider when making this selection. It is important to note that the main applicant can conduct their own research to find a suitable real estate agent, project, and property. However, lawyers can also provide recommendations to assist with the process. Examination of real estate. After selecting the real estate, the main applicant must share the current title deed with the lawyer for examination. The lawyers investigate if there are any liens or restrictions on the title and if the real estate has construction servitude and condominium. Real estates with liens or restrictions are not eligible for Turkish citizenship. Real estates with mortgages, seizures, and similar restrictions are also not eligible for Turkish citizenship. The contracts that need to be signed are examined by the lawyers to protect all legal rights of the main applicant. Valuation report. A real estate valuation institution that has been approved by the Capital Market Board is required to determine the value of the real estate being sold. This institution must then prepare a valuation report. The valuation report must be submitted to the Land Registry Office prior to the sale transaction for all real estate transactions involving the sale of property to foreigners. Lawyers can organize the real estate valuation institution and obtain the necessary information such as the contact number and title deed information to prepare the report. Real estate payment. When paying for the purchase of real estate, it is essential that all payments are made from the buyer's bank account to the seller's bank account, and the land registry information should be included in the receipt statement. This is important because the receipt should clearly state the names of the buyer and seller and the information about the paid real estate. The Ministry of Environment and Urban Planning requires that all details about the real estate, buyer, and seller are included in the receipt during compliance audits. Installment sales. During the citizenship application process, it is possible to make installment sales for real estate purchases, provided that the total payment, whether made in installments or in cash, is at least $400,000. For instance, if a sale is made in 8 installments, and each installment amounts to $50,000, then the total payment of $400,000 will be met at the end of the 8th installment. At this point, the application for citizenship can be made. Real estate preliminary sales contract. An application for citizenship can be made with the real estate preliminary sales contract, which must be signed in the presence of a notary public. The real estate must have established construction servitude or condominium, and $400,000 must be paid. An annotation regarding the contract must also be added in the land registry. Starting from January 31, 2023, the new legislation allows investors to purchase only one property with a preliminary sales contract. It is no longer possible to purchase more than one property with a sales contract in order to apply for citizenship. The investor must have only one property purchased through a sales contract to be eligible for citizenship application. Certificate of Conformity issued by the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization. In order to qualify for Turkish citizenship through investment, the sale price of the property, the value stated in the valuation report, and the amount paid must all be equal to or above $400,000. Once the investment requirement is met, all necessary documents are collected and an application for a certificate of investment eligibility is made to the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization. Once the certificate is received, the Turkish citizenship application process can commence. Bank investment. The main applicant can conduct all transactions related to bank investment through their bank account, which can be opened with the assistance of lawyers. By activating internet banking, the applicant can easily manage all transactions and keep track of their investments. It is regulated that, deposit a minimum of $500,000 or equivalent foreign currency or equivalent amount of Turkish lira to banks that operate in Turkey with the condition to keep such deposit in the relevant bank for at least 3 years that is determined by the Banking Regulation and Supervision Agency. As per the regulations, the main applicant can obtain Turkish citizenship by keeping $500,000 or its equivalent in Turkish lira in their bank account for 3 years. During the 3-year investment period, the main applicant can earn interest or profit share from their bank account. Bank account opening. With a power of attorney, lawyers are authorized to carry out bank account opening procedures. However, this power of attorney does not grant any authority to withdraw money from the account. The power of attorney only allows lawyers to perform necessary transactions for bank account opening and bank investment. To start the bank account opening procedures, the applicant must provide their passport, address proof document, and potential tax identification number. Once all required documents are signed, the bank account opening process is completed. After opening the bank account, the main applicant will receive all necessary information for internet banking, including account information and customer number. Certificate of Conformity issued by Banking Regulation and Supervision Agency. The Banking Regulatory and Supervisory Authority conducts audits to examine the bank account, investment amount, and power of attorney to issue a certificate of investment compliance for the main applicant. It is not important which account the investment amount is transferred from to the main applicant's bank account in Turkey, nor is it controlled by the agency which country the transfer comes from or what account it originates from. The main criterion is whether the $500,000 or equivalent foreign currency or Turkish lira is present in the main applicant's account on the date of the request for determination. The main applicant must maintain this investment amount in their bank account in Turkish lira, and after 3 years, they can withdraw it as Turkish lira. The Banking Regulatory and Supervisory Authority only ensures that the investment amount is complete in the account opened on behalf of the main applicant at a Turkish bank at the time of the request for an investment compliance certificate.